Hi and welcome back to another vlog for Impact Teaching. My name's Laura Alexander and I just spent 6 months teaching English in Poland. So today I want to talk to you about transportation in Poland. So I'll talk a bit about my experience or opinions of the transport, most importantly how to use the transport, the cost of the transport, and try and weigh up the benefits and drawbacks of the different ways of getting around the different cities in Poland. So to start with, I'm going to talk about the metro, which is exclusive to Warsaw, but the ticket machines operate like exactly the same as the ticket machines for the buses and trams. So hopefully that bit will be useful no matter what city you're looking at going to or what city you're already in. But I will also talk a bit about the metro in general as well. So in Warsaw, the metro operates in 2 zones, Zone 1 and Zone 2, and it is cheaper to travel in Zone 1 because Zone 1 is more central. You'll find if you're in Zone 1, you're never too far away from a metro stop, normally always in walking distance. If you're in the very centre, you're in walking distance to so many different metro stations. You really do have a pick of the bunch, so it's a really convenient way of travelling around Warsaw. You can buy your tickets either on an app or at the station, so I'll talk through how to do that in a minute, but first I'm going to talk about the costs. So a cost for a 20-minute ticket, so you can buy tickets for either 20 minutes or 75 minutes. So a cost for a 20-minute ticket for the metro and for buses and trams is 3.4 zloty, and the cost for a 75-minute ticket is 4.4 zloty. So both of these numbers are the equivalent of less than £1. So obviously a really, really affordable way of getting around Warsaw. It is a little more expensive in Zone 2, and it is also important to be aware of where Zone 1 ends and Zone 2 begins, because that is not made clear. If you are caught in Zone 2 with a ticket that is only valid for Zone 1, you could be fined if you come across a ticket inspector. There aren't that many ticket inspectors, but if they do catch you, it is a 150 zloty fine, which is the equivalent of about £30. So not awful, but definitely not something you want to happen regularly. So it is best to have the right ticket just because they are so cheap as well. So there are 2 super easy ways to buy your ticket for the metro. And one of those ways is very traditional, just at the metro station. You'll find there's loads of different ticket machines. And you just can click on the little Union Jack flag and it'll start translating everything to English. I think there's also options for the machine in German and maybe Russian. But yeah, obviously I click on the English option, and then it gives you the option of, do you want the 20-minute ticket or do you want the 75-minute ticket? And as I said before, it's 3.4 zloty or 4.4 zloty, and then it'll ask you if it's Zone 1 or Zone 2. And if you have any kind of discount card, so if you're traveling with anyone that's a student, for instance, they actually get their tickets cheaper as well. So there's an option to put standard or reduced on the machine as well. So you can see here the Union Jack, buy a ticket, the different time options, and then you've got the different zones. And then it will give you the option for adult or reduced ticket, how many, and then the price. So as I mentioned before, there's actually 2 ways to buy your metro ticket. So one way, as I mentioned, is the traditional way at the station, but you can also buy them on this app called Jade. I'll type that so that you don't have to guess from my awful pronunciation. But this app, basically, you just type in the address of where you want to go, and it can be a really specific address. And then you click the little search button, and this app will tell you exactly which modes of transport you need to get. So for instance, with the metro, it will tell you which metro you need to get, which line it is, how long it will take you to get there. and then you can click buy ticket and it will sort it all out for you, and you can add a balance to the app just using Apple Pay. So really, really convenient, and you can do that in a hurry. Say if you're already at the station and you need to buy a ticket, it's just the easiest way to do it. The next way of travelling is extremely similar, as I said, with buses and trams. The ticket machines operate really similarly. You can use the Jack-O-Jade app. It'll tell you which buses you need to get, what the alternatives are. It tells you how many stops you need to stay on for. It tells you which stop to get off at, which bus station you'll be getting on at. It makes everything really easy. It's all really signposted on there. So you can buy your ticket on there, or some of the bigger tram stops or bus stops will have ticket machines available. But another really easy way to do it is just to buy your ticket on the bus. So on the bus, you won't actually speak to the bus driver or tram driver at all. So it's very different in the UK. They just have a ticket machine posted up in the middle of the bus or tram. Again, you just click on the little English icon, the little Union Jack flag. Everything will translate to English. 20 minutes, 75 minutes, zone 1, zone 2, exactly the same as the metro ticket machines. But as I mentioned, the Warsaw Metro is only in Warsaw, but buses and trams in all of the cities I've been to, it's super easy to get on the tram or on the bus. They're really accessible, really convenient, super frequent, so you will never be waiting too long. Krakow, Lublin, Gdansk, Łódź, all these cities have a really well-connected tram and bus system. So just because it doesn't have the metro, it's not missing out too much because you have all these other really good ways of getting around. So another really important mode of transport, which I haven't actually yet mentioned, is traditional trains. So trams, metros, buses are great when you're moving around in one city, but eventually you will probably want to leave one city to visit another, and then you have to use the traditional train most likely. So there are a few ways again to purchase tickets for the trains, but unfortunately you can't use the Jack-O-Jade app for trains, so forget about that for now. So the first way to buy your ticket is the very traditional way of going to the station, allowing quite a bit of time before your train, and queuing up at the window where you normally buy tickets, and then asking for your ticket from whoever's working there. Every so often the person working will have trouble understanding English, so it's always useful to know the Polish pronunciation of the city that you're going to. For instance, Maine is pronounced like Główny, but it's spelt like Glowny. So if you're going to Krakow, Główny, and then obviously Krakow is also actually the English pronunciation. So it's definitely worth knowing the Polish pronunciations before you get to the ticket window. But you just have to tell them the name of the station you want to go to and the time of the train you want to get. But the big problem with this is that the trains do sometimes sell out in Poland. So if you just turn up and buy your ticket, it's happened more than a handful of times that that train has been fully booked and they tell you you have to wait for the next one. Sometimes that's the last train of the day, or you wait hours for the next one. So it's definitely a big drawback of this way. It's very disappointing. I always used to prefer to go to the station to get my paper ticket that I can stick in my scrapbook, but after a few times being told the trains were fully booked, I actually decided to start buying my tickets online. So online, the best website to buy your tickets is intercity.pl. And Intercity is actually a company, so it's like a brand of trains, the IC trains. So the reason I recommend Intercity is because it is a little bit cheaper, and also the website is just really easy to use. On Google Chrome, it translates everything to English. You can make an account on there as well, so it's easier to buy your ticket next time. And then make sure you have your ID with the name of the person that brought the ticket. So obviously type your own name and bring your own ID, because they will check your ID when they check your ticket on the train. Something that is different from here and from the UK to Poland is they always check your tickets on trains. I would say 9 times out of 10, probably more than that, there will be a ticket inspector on the train. So do make sure you have your ticket before getting on the train. And as I said, it's so easy to buy tickets on Intercity and it's really affordable. I wrote an article for Impact Teaching where I spoke about this in a bit more depth, but you can go from one end of the country to the other for like £25, and you can go easy, like an hour and a half journey is just over £5. It's just all really affordable. There are 1 or 2 trains that you can actually buy your ticket on the train. I never risked it, but it is possible. And that is a specific brand of train, like an LK train. And I think they only operate in a shorter range. So from Warsaw to Łódź, for example, you could get that train, but it costs the same as Intercity. I personally prefer just the peace of mind of knowing I've booked it on Intercity, I've got the ticket emailed to me, I've got all the information I need for my journey, and it makes it a lot more relaxed. And a little side branch of that is you can also buy sleeper train tickets on Intercity. The only difference is you need to print off your ticket, whereas if you buy your ticket online with Intercity for a normal train, you can just show it on your phone. And lastly, another super convenient way to buy a train ticket is at the self-service machines in the train station. So this eliminates any confusion about speaking English with the ticket seller, and it just means that you can maybe save time in the queue. So I think that's all of the ways of getting around Poland that I've outlined there. I hope that's been helpful. Please do comment below if I've missed any ways of getting around, or let me know what you think about the different ways of getting around Poland. Let me know what you think about them, and I hope this has been helpful. Bye!